My name is Kenneth Carter. I want to talk about today note variations. In the note variations you have whole note, half note, quarter note, eighth note, 16th note, and 32nd note. For you beginners, a whole note. You will never really ever see a whole note in any type of count, because a whole note is pretty much you're counting in fours. So if you have 4/4, you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, whole note. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You would never play that. I'm just, unless you're playing, you're doing maybe like a break or a breakdown. 1, 2, 3. Like you're just sitting there just waiting. Like the band be like, oh my gosh. But whole note, you would do it in different rests, variation. I'll explain that later. Half note. And a half note's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have two essential hits in the first hits. So 1, 2, you're going to hit. You start off right or left. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is called half note. And in a half note variation, you're only hitting 2 in a measure of 4. So that's why it's called half. You take 2 plus 2 is equal 4. So if you take 4, take away 2, that's 2. So that's why it's called half note. A quarter note, think of, I tell my students, you have a quarter, 50 cents, 75 cents, and a dollar. So you take each one and you have every hit. So quarter note. So quarter. So I want a change for a dollar. So you take, okay, somebody will give you a quarter, they will give you 50 cents, which is another quarter. They give you 75, which is another quarter, and they will give you another quarter that equals up to a dollar. So on every hit for quarter note, and remember that quarter note, quarter, 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 25, 75. I'm sorry, 25, 50, 75, 100. So quarter note, every hit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's quarter note. Eighth note. Eighth note, that's the trick. I think a lot of people get mixed up. They're like, what is that? Okay, since you have quarter note, in the eighth note variation, on every measure hit that you hit, you would hit 2. So there's 4 hits in one phrase of a measure. Okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So for eighth note, which is 8, all you're doing is counting 2. And a lot of times you want to count it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 8. So if you're still in 4/4 and you're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, eighth note in a quarter note variation, which is count 4, it'll be like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is called eighth note. So 2 hits for every measure hit. 16th note, you have 4 hits for every 1 measure hit. So you could still be in 1. In the one phrase of the 4 count. You're counting 4, 4 over 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will explain the subdivisions of that. But 4 hits. So 16th note will run off. For that 1 hit, it'll be 4 hits. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. that rounds off 16th hit. 16th notes. It's a tongue twister, but it rounds off that. And many people will count 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 16. So it's tricky, like doing it together. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E, 4 E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's called 16th note. 32nd note. That's the blast speed right there, buddy. And you still, whatever beat per minute you stay in that phrase. But a lot of times you're playing 50 beats a minute, 60 beats a minute. You playing 32nd notes is, it's very quick. For beginners, you probably won't get to that speed till later on, in your process, in your journey of playing. But quarter note, eighth note, 16th note, you pretty much play all the time. Any style you play. You rarely play 32nd note unless you being real flashy, want to show off, or just working on speed. But 32nd note, there is literally 8 counts in one hit. Remember when I was saying 16th note is 4 counts. In 32nd note is 8 counts. So it's like, man. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like very, very fast. But according to that, it's 8. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That is called 32nd note. So I want to demonstrate at 55 beats a minute what I'm trying to explain. And I hope y'all guys understand even this, because a lot of guys tend to get mixed up, not understanding what whole note, half note, quarter note, eighth note, this note, that note. It's a lot of notes, but it's great to understand this because it will teach you how to read drum notation. You understand subdivisions and all those things that you apply to yourself as you grow as a musician, as a drummer. So I'm going to turn my metronome on, and we're going to discover, what all this whole and halves and quarters and stuff is. So guys, here I go. Okay, I'm playing at 55 beats per minute. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. Whole note. Half note. 1, 2. Half note. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Half note. Quarter note. 1. Quarter note. Eighth note. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and 16th note. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 32nd note. So that's that, guys. Whole note, half note, quarter note, eighth note, 16th note, 32nd note. Beginners, get to it. Very simple, very elementary. I hope I explained it to the simplicity as it is, and use it and apply it in your playing. It'll benefit you. Okay, signing off, guys.